We get lots of questions about the creation story and the holes in it. And why didn't God explain it all in greater detail? And why don't we get a more exact story? And how come there are other people that Cain and Abel was frightened of? And where did they come from? And were they made by Adam and Eve? And how come in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 there are two apparently different creation stories and the word for God is different in both of them? And clearly they're different authors. And, you know, what's going on? Why hasn't God made all that really clear? Well, look, we could go into that and have great, you know, theological debates and whatever. Look, in my time at college listening to this, I can remember thinking one night, and look, this might be a bit of self-righteousness coming out here, so get ready to throw things at me if it is, but this debate was going on video for about half an hour over a few verses in Genesis, and they got these scholars who have been studying this stuff for years and arguing different points about Hebrew words and whatever and what they mean and what the impact this has on creation and what it means about God and whatever. I remember thinking to myself how excited I was that at lunchtime that day I had had a meeting with my cousins with a view to the possibility of planting a church in their area, and you know how great it is to see the kingdom growing and churches growing. And I don't know, I just had these terrible thoughts. Maybe I shouldn't have been having them. But here are these experts, these talking heads, sitting around debating Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 after reading numerous books, writing numerous books, debating the issues. And, you know, I thought to myself, there's 6 billion people on the earth. I think 1 billion of them, last time I heard any stats, were Christians. So we've got 5 billion people headed for eternal destruction. And this is what Christians are doing? Like they're sitting around debating semantics over creation. Can I try to put a different perspective on it? And look, you might think it's too simplistic, but there are 1,189 chapters in the Bible. And God devoted 2 chapters to, oh, by the way, I'm God and I created everything. That was it. And he devoted another 1,187 chapters to this is who I am, this is who you are, this is what you need to do if you want to have a relationship with me. And if you go to the death of Jesus Christ on the cross for you in the scriptures, you will see details hour by hour spelled out. So picture a camera and a camera's capacity to zoom in and zoom out. I think we've got enough to worry about in 1,187 chapters of our relationship with God to allow the creation stories and the way God seems to just flip over them to be a barrier to knowing Him, a barrier to trusting Him, a barrier to trusting the Bible, to me seems absurd. Because I don't think God could have zoomed out any further. I'm God, I made the world, I made you. Now let's get on with the story. And when it comes to the death of Jesus Christ, He zooms in so close, we get almost a minute by minute, blow by blow, word by word description of the stuff that really counts. The other thing we might be guilty of doing in this issue is saying, well, you know, I would know and serve God, you know, if I could trust this book better. You know, there's not enough detail there. He hasn't answered enough of my questions for me to put my trust in this. So instead of allowing the Bible and the words within its pages to judge us, which it rightly should, we judge it. We judge the book. And we judge God's capacity to put it together the way we wanted it. It ought to be the other way around. It judges us. I think we've got enough to do, enough work to do in serving God and in helping other people to know Him, to not get caught up in semantics about what really are peripheral issues. Is there anyone here that would actually question that the world exists? Is anyone not sure about that? Right.
It's crossed my mind.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you've seen The Matrix. Maybe we don't exist. Most people in general accept that we're here. And if you can't accept by faith that God created it and it came from Him, then your attitude to the entire rest of the scriptures is in doubt anyway. Because the first few words of the Bible are, in the beginning, God. In the beginning, God. Now I would ask you, what is your attitude to those 4 words? Is it 4? I can't have 2 eggs for breakfast without a calculator.
Yeah, it's 4.
If you can't get past those 4 words, you're in trouble anyway. If in the beginning God is outside your area of faith, I just can't accept this. I don't believe that God created the world. I can't believe that the scriptures accurately tell me that God created the world. If you can't get past those first 4 words, what does the rest matter? But if you do accept those first 4 words, in the beginning, God, then the rest does matter. Because you've accepted in faith that God is, that everything that is because of God, and the rest is relevant. Because by faith you've accepted in the beginning God, therefore your attention and your attention is sparked. I want to know more. I want to know the rest. Because I accept in the beginning God. So it might seem like I'm brushing it away, but the camera lens insists that we do. 2 pages. I made the world. There it is. And yet, blow by blow, hour by hour, word by word of the cross. Go to the cross. That's where the tension is.